Hi, design students. This video is a example of stakeholder analysis. So we've got a scenario here that is different to your assignment. The reason being that if I did this for the assignment, it would be over scaffolding. So this is a completely different kind of a project. Nevertheless, the process of looking at a user's need can follow a fairly similar just way of attacking it. So we'll look at that. This is just one way to do it. This is not the way to do it. And we will learn a lot more about this later in the course. We'll do a whole unit on something called user-centered design, or human-centered design, which will allow us to go much deeper. For your first assignment here, this has a small impact on your assignment, but later on through the course it'll be worthy of a larger percentage of the marks. Nevertheless, you still need to do it for this assignment, and this is the work for this week. So let's have a look at a way of doing it. In the particular scenario that I've prepared here, the designer has to design a Lego toy box. So there's a whole lot of very fixed things there, just like your assignment is very fixed. Your stakeholders are fixed. The you're not actually making the problem, you're not deciding what the problem's going to be. The problem's been given to you. So you've got an objective in yours, and you can write that somewhere on your page. This was done on a sheet of A4, I think, but you could make this A3 size, no problem. And just remembering you're required to do a couple of pages of information like this. This is done fairly simply. This was done for a grade 10 class. However, it does contain some quite technical aspects of it as well. So I'll get on with it. So the objective of this is to design a Lego toy box. Yours is going to be, solving the world's plastic problems, or plastic packaging problems, something like that you get from the task sheet. Write that somewhere on the sheet, okay? And then list your stakeholders. That was your requirement from week 4 in this term. You write them down. Okay, you might break them down a little bit, like I have here. For instance, if you wrote shops or retailers that sell plastic, then you might talk about some of the different people there, people that work there, the people who own the company, people who do all the freighting and things like that. But anyhow, this list here is probably a fairly useful list for you that you might be able to transpose over a little bit into yours. Now, I want you guys to consider this thing called the 4-pleasure framework. We will learn a whole lot more about that later on in the course, but for now, just understand that we look at people's socio-pleasure, how they work with other people, about social interaction; physio-pleasure, the feel of things that are used, plus the things like the safety of it, or the its ergonomics, how well the thing you're designing actually works. They all come under physio. Psycho-pleasure is about cognitive understanding and emotional, which is like liking or disliking. And then the ideological pleasure that we would consider of people's values and beliefs. This is going to be very important in your assignment, different to a Lego box. This is way more about an ideology if we're thinking about looking after the planet. So there's stuff that you can use these as like little microscopes to look at these people with. There's other things that you want to consider too. People's economic need, their social need would cross over to social pleasure. Cultural needs would probably cross over to social as well. Aesthetics and technical need. These are needs that, say, a company over here. For instance, the Lego in this one, well, yours would be the manufacturer of whatever good had to be plastic wrapped. Then they would have technical needs. They'd have issues with safety, or tamper-proofing, or health, or whatever. Also making the product visible. All sorts of things that they would have that are technical needs that you could identify. So let us then see what we do. We take each of them, and this is all done on one page. You could easily do this over a couple of pages, and you brainstorm, or I do. I I go down and make a list of all the things that I think that stakeholder needs to have. So a retailer needs it to be profitable, needs to be economically sustainable, needs it to be durable, needs to appeal to customers, needs to make handling easy. Okay, you can go on for a lot more in this assignment. There's more things that you need to think about to put in there. Okay, a manufacturer would have packaging needs and sales and marketing needs and manufacturing needs. These are really good headings for you to break down a little bit further, because where you're going with this analysis, what we're hoping for is in week 6 that we can write some design criteria, and design criteria will basically be a list of things that whatever you design must be. So this Lego toy box must have immediate visual appeal. Well, your packaging or your solution to the packaging problem might be making signage, it might be changing awareness. I don't know what you're going to do to solve this problem, but it should have these features that come out of this analysis of users' need. One of your users will probably be the environment. One of your users, you know, there might not just be people, there'll be things over there, and the design must have this, it must have that, and that's where we're sort of heading from. This is fairly condensed on one page. I think you could see how this easily could be, you know, become a couple of pages or even many pages, but try to keep it down to a couple of pages of your analysis of needs. And this is all about giving us ideas for later on. Please don't just get the idea of what you're going to do now. Okay, right now we're exploring the problem. We're trying to work out exactly the extent of the problem, who the stakeholders are, what their needs are, and then we can come up with once we've got some design criteria as to what a successful solution is going to look like, then we can start problem solving on or having more wild ideas and develop ideas where we develop different solutions and finally one finally produced solution. Hopefully this video was helpful in getting you through working on this week, and because if you've got this behind you, the assignment gets much easier. Hopefully that all works for you.